Over-the-counter tax deeds. 7 pros and cons of the over-the-counter tax deeds. So in this video, we're going to dive into what's good about over-the-counter, what's bad about over-the-counter, and this way you can have some good tips for moving forward. So first off, let's establish what is an over-the-counter tax deed. So an over-the-counter tax deed is a tax deed that did not sell at the tax deed sale. So literally back in the day, or even to this day, depending on the county, you go into the county counter, ask them, what do you have for over the counter? So let's dive into the pros and cons of this, okay? So first off, pro number one is there's lower competition with over-the-counter deeds, okay? This will give you an opportunity to be able to buy property, sometimes for up to 95% below market value. It's not uncommon for people to buy properties and land for as little as, 50 to 100 bucks. So that is a big pro. It is the only way, in my opinion, you can actually buy real estate that cheap and own it mortgage free. So that is definitely one of the pros. So what are one of the cons of this? So basically with this, con number one is there's limited inventory of these. So a lot of the times there's a reason these don't sell at the sale. It could be junk. So you'll have people in the comments saying like, oh, it's all junk. No, it's not. You just have to put in the effort to go and find them. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind. For those of you guys just tuning in, I'm Dustin Hahn, Tax Lien Deed specialist. Been doing this stuff for like 20 years. On this channel, we show you how to buy property in the most amazing way possible through tax liens and deeds and earn 18 to 36% interest. So subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, ask a question in the comments if this is a topic that interests you. All right, so pro number two, okay? Investing in over-the-counter tax deeds is nice because you're purchasing them without having to go to an auction. So this is cool. A lot of the times if you go to the auction, the property can get bid up, sometimes all the way to market value. It just depends, okay? Some auctions are amazing, some of them aren't. That's the thing about this business. A lot of folks, so maybe go to one auction and they're like, oh, this stuff doesn't work. I went to an auction, it was too competitive. It's like, listen, there are 3,300 counties that are having auctions, all right? Even if just a small percentage of them turn out to be good, let me ask you this. Would you go to 10 auctions to get $100,000 property for $5,000? The answer is yes. So if you've only been to 3 auctions, you haven't been to enough. You haven't even gotten the game. All right, so easier access. From there, the second one is a lot of the times there's limited information on these properties, and the public record can be challenging sometimes to navigate. So you need to make sure that all the notices were given properly to the owners and that the county has done their job in notifying, so that when you buy that property, you're not going to deal with a lot of maybe things that weren't done correctly on title. All right. So from here, pro number three is the fact that there's less pressure in this situation. All right. So there's not a lot of time constraints. You can take your time. You can research it. You can look at the deed, maybe go look at the property. You have more time and flexibility, and it's a little more relaxed than maybe getting pressured at an auction. All right. Now, con number three, obviously it can be high risk, meaning you could buy one of these properties. Maybe you don't know how to do your research. Maybe there's some gas tanks on the ground because it was a gas station. Maybe it was an auto body shop and there's environmental things that you need to worry about. So it can definitely be a little bit of a higher risk in that regard. Trucking along. Number four, one of the fourth benefits of this is the fact that there are fewer restrictions and requirements up front to get into these. So you can basically go, show up, and buy, whereas some auctions might require you to have $4,000 or $5,000 down just to get in the door, just to bid. All right. So moving along from here, when you buy, one of the cons of these is when you buy these, you don't guarantee clear title. So when you buy a over-the-counter or even a tax deed in general, you often don't have clear title, and you'll need to go and get that title cleared, whether it's through an attorney or a service like Tax Title Services. All right. So moving along again. Benefit though, 5, is you have greater control when you go this route, because sometimes you can even negotiate with the county better terms, because remember, the county wants these back on their tax roll. So if it's been sitting in that inventory maybe for 5 or 6 years, maybe it's a building that needs to be demolished, or maybe you need to renovate it, you can make a deal with the county and say, listen, I'll pay this and I'll have it back on the tax roll within 6 months. So you have the ability to negotiate that. All right. So cruising along here, another one of the cons is sometimes this property might be so distressed is you make a mistake and you can't actually make much money, meaning you thought you were going to make a lot more money on the property, but then you realize the thing needs to be torn down. So that comes to your, you have to take that into consideration when you're going. All right. From there, one of the benefits as well with number 7 is you can really start to build some long-term income with these. If you're buying lots and land, you can do residual income. You can owner finance these things. If you buy a piece of land for $500 and it's worth 10 grand, you can do owner financing. Somebody can put down $3,000 and then pay you a couple $100 per month in rent. And then from here, one of the last cons is the fact that when it comes to over-the-counter deeds, like we say, you're going to have to sort through a lot of crap. Okay. And that's just the name of the game. You just got to sort through some crap, but you have to ask yourself, are you willing to put in a little bit of elbow grease? So by no means am I saying that tax liens and deeds are easy. Remember, if this were easy, everybody would do it. And if everybody's doing it, then there's no money or room for you to come in and make yourself a good amount of money in this business, because everybody would be doing it. All right. So go ahead, see if you have any over-the-counter deeds in your county. Keep these steps in mind. If you want help with this, I give away the best-selling book, which is the ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. There is a link below in the description if you want to check that out. And we've even taken the best DVDs from back in the day. I give these away, but in digital format. It's actually funny to hold on to a DVD from back in the day. But the information is still good because this stuff has been around for 200 years. The fundamentals are never going to change. So you might say, some people are like, oh, nice DVD. But the information is still just as good today because it is the basic principles. From there, if you want some help getting this stuff set up, it can be challenging at first. What we do is we help folks, we build them a custom 4-step strategy plan for getting started with liens and deeds. It's going to save you probably 2-3 years of trial and error. And we're going to show you how to avoid the mistakes, avoid buying properties that could cost you money, and show you an exact game plan to start where you are and start making money with tax liens and deeds. So there's a link below in the description. Go ahead, check that out. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next stream.